and happy Monday. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Today we are going to go over our day 15 math. It looks like we're going to start with a math task. We have a little bit of refresher on money, and then we are going to end with some fluency practice. So let's go ahead and get started. For our math task, it's looking for, Cole has 75 cents. He has 2 quarters and 1 dime. If the rest of his coins are nickels, how many nickels does he have? Well, here I represented the coins that Cole has, the 75 cents. It said he had the 2 quarters that are worth 25 cents each, and then Cole had a dime that is worth 10 cents. If the rest of the coins are nickels, how many nickels does he have? So here we have 25, 50, 60 cents. So we're going to count by fives, moving the nickels over because the nickels are worth 5 cents. And we're going to stop once we get to 75 cents. And that's going to let us know how many nickels. So again, we had 25 if we're counting by quarters. Another quarter is going to be 50 cents. And then a dime is going to be 60 cents. So let's go ahead, starting with 60. Let's move our nickels over. So our first nickel is going to be 65. And then if we move another one, again increasing by 5, that's going to be 70, which is not 75 yet. So we need to move another one, starting with 70, counting by 5, 75. So we stop at 75 because that's how many cents Cole had. And as you can see, we moved over 3 nickels. So the answer would be Cole has 3 nickels. Okay, moving on to... Okay, and we're going to move on to the next slide. And we've been focusing on coins, quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies. And today we're going to focus on the dollar. And the $1 equals 100 cents. So it doesn't matter what coins you have, as long as they add up to 100 cents, that's going to equal $1. And here you can see the key we have. It takes 100 pennies to make up $1. It takes 20 nickels to make $1. It takes 10 dimes to make up $1. And it takes 4 quarters to make up $1. And then again, $1 bill is equal to 100 cents, so it only takes $1 bill to equal $1. So moving on to number 1, it wants us to circle the coins in each row that equal $1. So if we look at number 1, right here it tells us 4 quarters equal $1. So right off the bat we know that these 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters are going to equal that $1. To check your work, you can count remembering that the quarter has a value of 25 cents. So each time you count a quarter, it's going to increase by 25. So we have 25, 50, 75, and $1. So we are going to circle the 4 quarters because that is equal to 100 cents, which is also equal to $1. So we are going to move on with a little more practice. It looks like 2 and 3. We're doing the exact same thing. We're going to count the coins. Remembering that whenever we're counting coins, we always start with the coins that have the highest value. It just makes it easier to count change. So this is a nickel and the rest of them are dimes. So I'm going to start over here because we always start with the coins that have the highest value. And each time we count a dime, we're going to increase by 10. And remember, they asked us to circle the coins that equal $1. So we're going to stop when we get to 100 because it takes 100 cents to equal $1. So here we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $1. So we know that it is all of the dimes. Here. It is all of the dimes are equal to 100 cents, which is equal to $1. So you are not circling the nickel, just the dimes. And then looking at number 3, we're going to start with the coins that have the highest value. It looks like they've already put them in order for us. So we are going to start with the quarters. We're going to move on to the dimes, and we're going to end with the nickel, stopping when we get to 100 cents because it does take 100 cents to make the $1. So remembering that the quarter has a value of 25 cents, and we have 2 quarters. So we have 25, 50, we have 3 quarters. So 1 more quarter is going to be 75. So 25, 50, 75. Now the numbers are going to increase by 10 because we have a dime, and that value is 10. So we have 75, 85, and again, 85 increasing by 10. 10 more is 95. And now we're going to increase that by 5 because the nickel is worth 5 cents. So we have 95, 100. So we know that it takes 100 cents to equal $1. So in number 3, all of those coins are going to be circled. Okay, and we're going to move on to our next slide, number 4. Natasha has 1 quarter, 2 dimes, 10 nickels, and 4 pennies. She needs $1 to buy a joke book. How much money does she have? Okay, we know she needs $1 to buy a joke book. $1 is equal to 100 cents. And here I have the coins that are going to show how much money Natasha has. Here's the 1 quarter, here's the 2 dimes, there are the 10 nickels, and there are the 4 pennies. So we're going to go ahead and count. Remember that the quarter is worth 25 cents. So we're going to start with 25. And again, we're starting with the coins that have the most value, going all the way down to the coins with the least value. So we started with our quarters. Next, we're going to increase the, each time we count, this is going to increase by 10 because a dime is worth 10 cents. So 25 and 10 more is going to be 35 cents, and we have 1 more dime. So this is going to increase by 10, which is 45 cents. And now they are going to increase by 5 because we're counting nickels, and nickels have a value of 5. So 45 and 5 more is 50 cents. 50 and 5 more is 55 cents. So we're skip counting by 5s. 55 and 5 more is 60 cents. We have another nickel increasing by 5. 60 and 5 more is 65 cents. And we're going to do the same thing with the next nickel. 65 and 5 more is 70. And then 70 and 5 more, because we have another nickel, that's also going to increase by 5. So we have 75 cents. And still continuing on with the nickel, 75 and 5 more is 80. Another nickel, 80 and 5 more is 85. Still going with the nickels, 85 and 5 more is 90. And our last nickel, so this is going to increase by 5, 90 and 5 more is 95. And now we are going to count the pennies, and the penny has a value of 1 cent, so these are going to increase by 1 each time. So 95 and 1 more is 96. 96 and 1 more is 97. 97 and 1 more is 98, and 98 and 1 more is 99. So it says, how much money does Natasha have? Natasha has 99 cents, so she doesn't quite have $1. So let's go ahead. So she would not have enough. She needs $1 to buy a joke book. Because she has 99 cents, Natasha would not have enough to buy that joke book. Let's go ahead and move on to number 5. Chip needs $1. He has 3 quarters and 1 dime. Here I have represented the 3 quarters and I've represented the 1 dime. How much more does he need to make $1? So in order to find out how much more he needs to make $1, we need to count the coins he already has. And we're going to start with the coins that have the highest value down to the coins that have the lowest value. So he has 3 quarters. We are going to start with a quarter. Remembering that a quarter has a value of 25. So each quarter we count, that number is going to increase by 25. So the first quarter will be 25 cents. The second quarter is going to be 50 cents. That increased by 25. The third quarter is again increasing by 25 cents. So that's going to be 75 cents. And then now we have a dime, which has a value of 10 cents. So that is going to increase by 10. 75 and 10 more is 85 cents. We're not done because it wants to know how much more he needs to make $1. So we need to keep counting. I have some coins over here that we're going to count to see how much more to get to $1. I'm going to start with a dime because it has a bigger value than the nickel. Remember, the dime is worth 10 cents. I'm going to move a dime over. But because I'm moving a dime over, I also need to increase the value, or I'm sorry, I need to increase the total by 10 cents. So a dime is worth 10, 85 and 10 more is going to be 95 cents. We're almost to $1, so I'm going to go ahead and move a nickel over now. And remembering that now when we are totaling up those coins, this is going to increase by 5 because a nickel is worth 5 cents. 95 and 5 more is 100. And remember, it takes 100 cents to make $1. So he needs 10, 20, 5 more cents to make $1. So your answer would be Chip needs 25 more cents to make $1. And that would be your answer. Okay, it looks like all we have left is our fluency practice. This is day 15. We are going to be solving 47 minus 28. That is subtraction. So we are going to be looking for the difference. We're going to be showing the equation and solving it in different ways. So let's go ahead and get started. Use any strategy. This, we're just going to line those numbers up based on the place value, and we're going to use standard algorithm to solve those. That is going to be the easiest strategy for this. So remembering always to start with that one column. So we have 7 and we need to take away 8. And remember, if you have 7 of something, you cannot give 8 away because you don't have enough. So we are going to need to regroup. So when we regroup, we go next door and borrow from our neighbor. So let's gonna cross out that 3. Cross out the 4. The 4 is going to become a 3. And then the 7 is going to become a 17 because we borrowed 110, and 10 more than 7 makes that 17. Sorry about that. Let's get this over. Okay, so now we have 17 and we are going to subtract 8 from the 17. So you're going to go ahead and put 8 in your head, and then you're going to count up to 17. So we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, stop. If you were counting on your fingers, you should have 9 fingers because 17 minus 8 is 9. So I'm going to plug that 9 in. And now that we have found the difference of the ones column, we're going to go next door and find the difference of the tens column. So again, the 4 became a 3 because we had to borrow. We have 3 minus 2. If you have 3 of something and you take 2 of those away, you are left with 1. So the difference is 19. 47 minus 28 is 19. Now we need to show this equation using models or visuals. So what I did here is I used base 10 blocks to represent the 47. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, and then we should have 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we have 48 represented, and we're going to take 28 away. But much as you can see, if you have 7 of something, you cannot take 8 away. So we're going to need to regroup, much like we did in the standard algorithm, where we are going to take 10 ones, and we are going to trade those out for a 10 bar. So I'm adding 10 ones, and then I'm taking the 10 bar away. And now we can regroup. So I should have 17 ones, and we are taking 8 of them away. So count with me. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then what is left should be, oh, that was the taking away from the ones column. And now we need to take 2 of the 10 bars away. So now we have 3, and we are taking away 2. So I'm taking away 2 more 10 bars to represent that 28. And we are left with, which should be 19. So let's go ahead and count. I have 1 10 bar with the value of 10. So we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That does equal the difference we found in use any strategy, so we know our answer is correct. And now we're going to move on to write a story. And remember, when we're writing a story, we're just coming up with our own word problem. Today Jonathan has 47 playing cards. He loses 28 cards. How many cards does he have left? Well, the 47 is represented. And then because he loses 28 cards, that's also represented as a subtraction problem. So we know our story is correct. And the last thing we need to do today is we need to show how we know our answer is correct. And because our equation was subtraction, we are using inverse operation, which is the addition. So we are going to take the difference and we are going to add that to our second add-in. And it should equal our first add-in, and it does, so we know our work is correct. I hope you have found this video helpful. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Remember, you can pick up, if you weren't able to pick up the third distance learning packet, you may pick that up in the office today. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out and call me, or reach out to me on class tag or comment below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. You guys have a wonderful day. Goodbye.